You're the only one who can save her.
The dragon bonded with Sienna, not me.
You and Sienna are identical, except for the mark. No one will know the difference.
Samara, I'm sorry. But Sienna once saved my life. I can't let her—
Those were the last words I heard before the darkness took me. Finn, even now, not one word about me. I came back to consciousness in a moving carriage, dressed in red. Finn's dress, the one he made for Sienna. I didn't know their swapping plan. In a world where spiritual beasts are gods, I am the lowest thing breathing. It's simple, really. Beastmen are drawn to beauty, but I was born with a black birthmark on my left cheek. I thought by the time I turned 18, my body will explode for not finding a mate. But then Finn, the Phoenix, rarest creature alive, chose me. I actually believed I was special to him. I wasn't. I only knew that until my sister Sienna's bonded dragon went rogue and lost control. Finn shoved me to bind with that monster without blinking. Here's the thing. Sienna and I are identical twins. Identical, except for the mark on my face. I wasn't chosen. I was kept as a spare. In the spiritual beast world, every human must complete a bond before their 18th birthday, or their body tears itself apart from the inside. Sienna and I came into this world together, but I was born with the mark. She was born a masterpiece. Every beastman in the territory fought to bond with me, and she chose the most dangerous one alive, Alaric, the dragon, the most powerful being in our realm. Beastmen carry a sickness called the feral curse. When it takes hold, they hunt their bonded by memory alone, drag them into a shared nightmare, and torture them. I always knew Sienna would pick Alaric. Power calls to power. What I never saw coming was Finn choosing me. The day he announced our bond in front of the whole territory, I felt like I was drowning in honey. The air tasted sweet. Even the people who had spent years spitting on me blurred into background noise. I stopped hearing the insults. I forgot every bruise they'd left. I thought everything I'd survived was just the universe clearing the path to him. Except he never touched me. He never showed me his true form. When a beastman reveals their animal form to their bonded, it means love, trust, everything. Finn never once shifted in my presence. I couldn't find a single feather in the entire house. I told myself it was just his nature, that he was private. Then one night, I stayed up until 3 a.m. collecting morning dew, his favorite, and carried it to his room like an idiot with a smile on my face. And I saw the flash of scarlet, his true form. He was showing someone his true form. I stumbled through the door. That someone was my sister. The moment he saw me, Finn pulled his form back in like a fist closing around a secret. Sienna smiled, soft, unbothered, like a cat who knows she owns the room.
Samara, you know Finn and I grew up together. Revealing his true form animal side to me, it's not a big deal.
My chest felt like concrete poured inside it. I kept my face very, very still.
Right, I just came to...
The dew I'd carried all night had already tipped and soaked the floor. I stood there, hands empty, useless. Finn looked at me once, cold, brief.
Nothing urgent? Then go.
I walked out with my head down. Sienna's voice followed me down the hall like smoke.
Finn and I grew up together.
But I met him first. And nobody cares. That winter, I found Finn half dead in the forest while I was out cutting wood. Red light pulsed off every inch of him. The feral curse. He was losing control. Every survival instinct I had screamed at me to run. His eyes stopped me. There was something in them I recognized, the desperate, clawing will to live. I had been looking at that same thing in mirrors for 17 years. I brought him home. I didn't sleep for weeks. I watched over him, learned his fever patterns, held him down through the worst nights. His body healed. The curse didn't lift. Then one day, Sienna visited. She told me to leave him to die.
That accursed beast wasn't worth the risk.
I refused. Sienna left. The moment she walked out the door, Finn's curse vanished. Just like that, like smoke in wind. He came back to himself, powerful, radiant, healed. After that, he started showing up. At my place, at Sienna's. I thought he was paying a debt. He was, just not to me. I was so absorbed in the past memory that I forgot to see the front. When I looked up, I met the deathly gaze of Alaric.
You do look exactly the same as your sister. Except...
His fingers slowly traced my face. Then he lowered closer to my face.
Sorry.
Overcome with fear, I ran fast past him without realizing he stood there and watched my back for a long time.
Finn got busier by the day, busier arranging Sienna's bond ceremony with Alaric. I knew I should be grateful. I knew a bond at all was more than I deserved by this world's standards. But hearing about Sienna's ceremony, the flowers, the guests, the spectacle, something pathetic inside me started imagining my own. I thought, fine, I'll plan it myself. I spent everything I had, literally everything. I bought a young firebird nest tree, the rarest thing Finn could want as a bond token, and gathered armfuls of his favorite blooms. I showed up on the appointed day. I stood at the bond altar from sunrise. He never came. The crowd that gathered grew larger the longer I waited, not to support me, but to watch. The flowers in my arms had died. I kept my chin down and my eyes on the ground. How could the Phoenix ever want someone that ugly?
He was obviously playing her. She's the only one who didn't know.
Any other day, I would have put my fist through the face of whoever said that. Today, I just pushed through the crowd, silent, trying not to drown. Someone shoved me from behind. I hit the ground hard. Then someone stomped on the pot. The clay exploded. The sapling went gray and dead in seconds. Shattered, I walked home and heard Sienna's voice floating out of Finn's room, bright, delighted.
Finn, this dress is beautiful. You actually made this with your own hands?
Sienna, as long as you like it.
Finn's voice was as flat as always, but the upward curl at the end, that small, involuntary warmth, exposed him completely. The door swung open, and Sienna walked out in a red dress. Red feathers lined the hem, Finn's tail feathers. The feathers a phoenix only plucks for someone they love.
So that was why he'd rushed me out of the house last week. He didn't want me seeing him make her a dress. He'd pulled his own feathers, the most sacred part of a phoenix's body, just to get the color right for her. He didn't come to my ceremony because of Sienna. All those years, every glance Finn ever threw across a room always landed on her, even agreeing to bond with me. I finally understood that too. It was just a reflex, a moment of wounded pride after she chose the dragon instead of him. Samara, they were right. Every bit of this was you lying to yourself. I made up my mind. I would dissolve the bond before it was complete. I wasn't going to wait around to be discarded with an audience. I started looking for an available Beastman, anyone willing to bond with me before my birthday. I finally tracked down Riven, a low-rank lizard in the outer territory, and he agreed. I ran home, told Finn. He didn't look relieved. He looked furious.
Samara, you're serious? You'd bond with that low-rank lizard instead of me? I didn't show up that day, but I had a reason. You saw—
I stopped listening. I already knew the reason. Sienna's ceremony was approaching. He was busy. Too busy for me, never too busy for her. Because of my face. Because I was the ugly one. Because apparently being born with a birthmark means I deserve to be stood up, mocked in public, and made to feel grateful for scraps. I closed my eyes.
Yes, Finn. I'm bonding with Riven.
Fine, Samara. Don't come crawling back.
He said it like I was the one abandoning him. I genuinely could not locate his logic. I had no time to figure it out. My birthday was 3 days away. The next morning, I went to find Riven. Somehow, he'd changed his mind overnight.
Apparently, someone had introduced him to a girl last night, and they'd already scheduled their ceremony for that afternoon.
You think I would take someone else's reject?
Then closed his door in my face. I stood there, lifted my hand to knock again, let it fall. People like me aren't meant to survive in a world like this. If I had maybe 3 days left alive, fine. I was going to spend them eating well. I walked to Mayfair Garden Cafe, the expensive coffee house I'd never dared enter before, and ordered everything that looked good. I was halfway through a plate of honey cake when I caught the conversation behind me.
Heard the Phoenix is giving Sienna the 1,000-year Heartwood?
The one with healing properties? Healing? If it can heal, why didn't Finn use it years ago on Samara's face? Oh, wait. Obviously because Sienna matters. Samara never did.
He had a cure. He had a cure for my birthmark. He watched me get beaten, ridiculed, spat on my entire life, and he had the antidote in his pocket. He chose to give it to Sienna as a backup plan, instead of giving it to me. Tears ran down my face, and I bit my lip until it bled to keep from making a sound. Tomorrow was my birthday. I was going to die. They would laugh at the way my body destroyed itself, so I would not cry. Not tonight. Not where anyone could see. I went home, nowhere else to go in this world. The house was blazing with light. A crowd had packed the main hall, shouting over each other. Alaric, Sienna's dragon, had hung, holy rogue. The feral curse had taken hold. Without a completed bond to tether him, Alaric wouldn't just hurt Sienna. He'd tear through the entire city. Dragons in rogue state always did. Everyone was screaming at Sienna to go through with the bond immediately. Only Finn was standing in her way, blocking her, keeping her back. But Finn couldn't hold the crowd forever. I looked at him one last time, at Sienna sheltered behind his back like she was made of glass, and walked to my room. His footsteps came fast. He threw open my door. Why was he here? His priority was right down the hall.
Samara, you're the only one who can save her.
Me? The dragon bonded with Sienna, not me.
You and Sienna are identical, except for the mark. No one will know the difference.
I opened my mouth to ask how I was supposed to remove a birthmark on 3 seconds' notice. And then I remembered the conversation at Mayfair Garden. He already knew. Finn raised his hand. His expression showed something I might have called regret, but his arm was completely steady as it swung toward my throat.
Samara, I'm sorry. But Sienna once saved my life. I can't let her—
Those were the last words I heard before the darkness took me. Finn, even now, not one word about me. I came back to consciousness in a moving carriage, dressed in red. Finn's dress, the one he made for Sienna.